Hey you guys, in this video I am going to be softly speaking with you while I tap and scratch and make cooking sounds, making these deviled eggs for you guys. You seemed to like the pasta video, and a lot of you asked for another video, which I was excited about because I had fun filming and editing it. So these are the ingredients that go into the deviled eggs. Obviously the eggs, this mayonnaise, you're going to need some mustard, I love the sound of these bottles. This is vinegar. It says white vinegar. It's not the typical white vinegar that I've used for my deviled eggs, but this is what my friends had, and it looked a bit different, so I don't know if it's a different kind, but I would go for the like really clear white, just white vinegar that also looks transparent. It still tasted good, but it's not my favourite. And then some salt. And this is paprika, and this is something you can use if you want to, it's optional. It's kind of for garnishing at the end, and it gives it some colour. And then a bit of pepper. So you're going to fill a pot with water. Typically you only cover your deviled eggs, the actual just eggs uncooked, with like an inch of water, but I put up more because I was going to fill it with a lot of eggs, about 18. But usually just like about an inch above the eggs is sufficient. I loved the sounds the water made. I ended up doing a video of just those sounds because it was so good. So you can look out for that video. You're going to place the eggs in prior to boiling the water. I place them in one at a time. Obviously they're fragile at this point. They're not boiled eggs yet. They are raw. The first step is to actually boil the eggs. I like to make a lot at once because the process is quite detailed, and that way you just kind of can do each step in bulk. So I'm going to go ahead and place these on the heat. You can use like a high heat, you're bringing it to a boil, so put it on a high heat. Add your lid, of course, so that it heats faster. It will take about 10 minutes to get to a rolling boil, so not just a little boil, but where it's really boiling. See here, see the difference? You start boiling, but this is a really, really strong boil. Once it gets to this point, you turn off the heat and let it sit for 15 minutes. Off the heat, 15 minutes. Then you're going to get a bowl of ice, like so. And you're going to add water, so you get a nice ice water kind of bath for these very hot eggs. So you can see the steam coming off of them. They are coming out right out of the water. Of course, they've sat for 15 minutes. And then I put them all in the ice water. I let them sit for maybe 5 minutes in there. This helps with peeling the skin off. If you put them in ice water, they will peel much faster. And I have found that you do have to peel them within like 5 minutes of putting them in the water. I've let them sit for quite a while before and did not have the same results. I grab a paper towel like that so that I can place the eggs on it to absorb the extra water once I've taken them out of their shells. So I do this little technique where I just pop it against the bowl, as you heard, and then kind of lightly squish it so that the shell kind of goes into tiny pieces, and it just kind of slides off actually once you've kind of cracked it into little pieces just by moving it around in your hand. So just gently, see how that just came off very easily. Not all come off as easily as that one, but they all come off quite quickly. And once in a while you get a stickler and you know, some of the egg white breaks a bit, but no big deal. You're going to pat them dry. You don't want like watery portions. Then I go ahead and I slice them all in half like this, and once you've done that you take out the yolks. Don't worry, I will slice more for you. But this section wasn't as beautifully sliced as the above will be. I kind of like that like pitter-patter of the yolk falling out. They pop out really easily. You can be very gentle with them. Satisfying. It's satisfying for me to watch. I don't know about you guys, but I liked that. So you slice them apart, get any extra yolk off so as to not mess up the next cut that you make, a slice. And then you proceed to pop out the yolks again. So that's why I like to do this in bulk. That way, these kind of tedious processes, you're doing a lot at once, so you have like more to actually enjoy afterwards. It's not like, well, I did that much work and I only got to eat like a few things. You're going to take whatever Tupperware or glassware, whatever you want to use to place your eggs in. Something that has a lid, preferably. This is what you're going to store these in the refrigerator. I just line up the yolks, not the yolks, forgive me, the egg whites. Get them all in there. And now you're actually going to set these aside and work on the filling. You're going to add some mayonnaise to the yolks. I'm not going to give you exact like recipe directions. I would look it up based on how many eggs you're working with, and I've learned over the years to I do it by sight. In the beginning I definitely would use a recipe though, because you could really mess this part up. But I've done it a lot of times now, so I just kind of eyeball it. I'm going to add just a bit of mustard, not a lot, a very tiny bit actually, especially in comparison to how much mayonnaise you've added. You're going to add your vinegar, kind of like a splash of it. It adds a really nice acidic, kind of sour portion. It mixes really nicely. There are lots of different recipes for deviled eggs, and this is the one that I like most. Add some salt and some pepper. I'm going to mix that up. I've used a spoon first just to get it all mixed. And then next, I'm going to go ahead and grab a fork. That way I can really push through the yolks and get them smooth. I like very smooth filling for deviled eggs. I don't like very lumpy. Some people might like it lumpy. I like it as smooth as I can get it, but I don't go crazy. I get it to about this point or so, and then you spoon it in like so. And if you use one large spoon and a tiny spoon, it goes much faster and it's not less messy. And then you can just put a dash of paprika on the top, but that is optional. And that was it. It was delicious. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and that it was a bit relaxing. Bye for now.